Okay, I want to inform a few people out there, if you're listening. I want you to pay attention for a moment here, because I want to talk about white privilege. Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird subject. I don't quite exactly know where anybody is going with it, or where they plan on taking a step off the train and being like, okay, if you think that there exists this privilege, but let's say you exclude the people who just have a different skin color, or they identify as a gay person, or they identify as a transgender person, or a transracial person, you exclude them from that minority privilege, you're going to create a sense of demoralization. You're going to create a sense of what most people would believe to be anarchy, which is, chaos in the streets, Antifa breaking loose and throwing the piss bottles and breaking down Starbucks, shattering the windows out, and beating people over the heads with pickets and banters, wearing their fucking masks and acting all Illuminati and shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry because you are wrong, and you don't seem to excel at any point beyond delineating your moral eminence. If you can follow that, I'm not sure. There was a time in my life after, let's say, after a few heinous years of abuse coming from an abusive household. I was at the door one day and I opened it, and there's this big 6'4" man of 200 pounds of pure meat and muscle, just got out of prison, asking me where a certain someone is. And my mama told me, don't let these fuckers intimidate you. Don't let them intimidate you. Me, with my big, huge, 5'10", 160-pound build, I'm standing beyond the threshold, looking this dangerous man in the eye. And I tense up. And I say, no one's here. It's time to go. I can't remember if that's exactly what I said, but the guy was just like, oh, okay. Big, scary man. You see, once you strip down the exterior and realize that the only way a vampire can enter your house is if you invite them in, is where you understand that fear is a blessing. Fear is what saves you from being possibly raped or burglarized, stabbed, beaten up, robbed. Needless to say, that same individual abducted a kid around my age then the following week and took him to Chicago and picked up loads of heroin and then molested him. Yes, this big, scary man from prison who would shoot up heroin and then lift weights until the point of puking would have torn my face off if I would have let that fear subside and said, hey, come on inside. So I just wanted to distract from that point for a moment because I am breaking off from what I meant to talk about, and I'm kind of subjecting you to the idea of fear being a useful tool. What I want to tell you, though, is that that problem would have never existed. That problem would have never occurred, that situation, actually, that could have led into an altercation, which would have maybe left me dead, raped, or burglarized, or stabbed, or who knows, the guy could have pulled out a gun and then searched the whole house and grabbed all the fucking money and all the goddamn drugs or something like that. I don't know. But what I did was prevent myself and prevent the people living in that house from facing a situation that we didn't want. All the while, I was extremely engulfed with fear when I told this guy, hey, get the fuck out, I'm not letting you in, you goddamn vampire. Yeah, I was scared. I was scared as fuck, but I did not show it. But this was all the results of coming from a broken home, coming from an impoverished lifestyle where there really was no father figure. Sadly to say, there was no father figure. And you commonly place this with solely happening only to what, black people? Yes, I feel very sorry for them because I come from the same fucking background. You want to sit there and you want to isolate one skin color and you want to say, well, you exactly didn't go as through much as that person did because you're white and you didn't grow up in a gated community surrounded by these rich yuppies who have yachts and they're fucking lawyers and doctors and they have these huge fucking six-figure incomes. You're not surrounded by those fucking people. You're not growing up in the ghettos because you're white. You're not growing up in the bad parts of the city because you're white. You're not experiencing this because you're white. You're white. You're white. And most importantly, you're a guy. You're a guy, and I don't care what you say. I don't care who you fuck. I don't care what drug you do. I don't care what fucking person touched you, hurt you, punched you, raped you, did whatever you... I don't care. You didn't experience any of that, and you don't know what it's like because you're white. So the bullshit argument kind of falls to pieces when people are literally going out there marginalizing white people simply because... I don't know, you want to conflate us with racists and slave owners who existed 200 years ago, even though I had nothing to do with that, even though I had no fucking say in it, unless you want to sit there and say you're a reincarnation of one of those slave owners, so therefore you are guilty! This is ludicrous, but you seem to find some sense of reasoning in it, and I don't quite understand that. I don't understand that at all. Why you think that I have something to do with perhaps I don't know, white men coming into this country and creating a massacre of a bunch of Indians, killing them and taking their land, pillaging it, and raping their women. I don't see where you're conflating me within those grounds, even though, let's be honest, I don't want to say anything to disturb you. Because, according to my ancestral lineage, there is a small percent of black and there is a small percent of Native American in me. So I'm kind of fucking confused when you sit there and you conflate me with all these nasty, horrible things that I have nothing to do with. Granted, I am mostly German and Irish. And granted, yeah, you only have a speck of this and that in you, so you're really not, like, you know, you're not really a part of it. Stop giving me this ugly argument, because it is ugly. It is ugly. You're trying to make me be the bad guy for no fucking reason. This is why I can't stand this whole fucking white privilege thing, this whole fucking white people do this, white people do that, when America is one of the most anti-racist, anti-misogynist, anti-fucking homophobic fucking countries in the goddamn world. They spent millions of dollars, they spent millions of lives of brave men and soldiers fighting to free slaves from people who thought they should have been owned and kept as prisoners, as toys, as puppets. And you're trying to tell me, you're trying to convince me, even though half of the fucking world, probably even more of the world still has, no, half of the world owned slaves at one point, and there are still countries out there that own slaves. Some of those slaves are white people. But us, we're so fucking evil because what do you want to do with this fucking thing that you're trying to embed within our brains? Simply, how is it even simple at this point? It's so fucking bad, man. Like, it's destroying relationships with people, it's destroying my relationships with friends, it's destroying my relationships with women, because I feel a tad bit marginalized by society, even though I am one of those people who came from a broken home, and I'm not playing the fucking victim card here. No, I'm not. I am vehemently against racism. I am against oppression. I am against anything that will take a certain group of people and transform them into some sort of puppeteers that let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. People want votes. And once you have a certain select group of people voting for you, what else do you have to gain? If you can't gain the white votes, then who else are you going to gain as your voters, is what I'm asking. Am I making a racist assessment here? Am I saying that there exists a sense of misandry in this country? If there didn't, why would all these male rights activist groups exist? Oh, it's so fucking funny that men would suddenly want rights all of a sudden. Oh, it's so fucking funny that they feel that they have a need to stray away from having relationships with women because they feel in some sense that they're going to be marginalized, that they're going to be made into these, well, I guess you can call them victims. It's a hard point to see, I know. It's a hard fucking point to see. It's a harsh reality. But again, you can take whatever path you want. I hate giving people options, but the fact of the matter is, you have options. You have options, and I will never deny anybody of having a fucking option. But when it stems into racism, well, if you want to join the KKK and start lynching black people, I'm going to say, yeah, you're fucking wrong. You're fucking wrong, and I think you should be put in prison, or I think you should be silenced from speaking. But then again, I believe in the freedom of speech. So it's a tricky subject. It's a tricky subject. But at the same time, if you expect me to hold back on things and say, oh, well, you can join Antifa, and you can believe all white males are these evil, money-hungry, oppressing, misogynistic animals who are just going to oppress everybody, therefore we must eradicate them, I'm going to step forward and say, no. Not only because I'm white, but because I believe in actual equality. Actual equality. The social structure we have built is not equality. It is not. The pussy hats. Oh no, he's making fun of the fucking pussy hats. God forbid he must be against equality. He must be against equality. No, I believe women have all the fucking rights in the world, and they should have the same fucking rights as men. But what I don't believe is to sit there and exclude men from having those same, well, men have the same rights. But what the honest truth is, it's not socially acceptable to say that men exist, at least on some thermonuclear level, within the same radius as women. Right now, we're creating this line of divisiveness where it's just like, you're a man, I'm a woman, therefore, we must collide, we must collide, we must collide, we must be enemies, we must be enemies. Boom, bang, fight. Even though you guys do not believe in guns. You do not believe in owning guns. You do not believe in defending yourself even. You wanted to destroy the world, basically. You wanted to put someone in office who is going to essentially go to war with the next major powerhouse of this country, I guess, or this world. And excuse me, you must excuse me for fucking just saying that Hillary Clinton was going to spark probably, I don't know, World War III and such other favorable things, I guess. Open borders, more social situations to create more lines of divisiveness so we can sit here and contemplate how we're going to exchange bullets in the future when people just get a little fucking fed up with this fucking shit. And it's happening already, man. It's fucking happening. It's happening. The bullets have not flown yet, but give it some time. They will. They will. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But a lot of people are very self-righteous, and they would hope that they're right for the sake of being right. Hey, we're going to enter World War III because of so-and-so, or because of so-and-so, so-and-so other. But as long as I'm right, it doesn't matter. No, I hope I'm fucking wrong. I hope I'm fucking wrong when I say that people coming to take your guns away is going to spark not a World War III, but a civil war. I hope I'm fucking wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I feel that I'm not. And I feel that it could happen. Very well happen. Don't mean to fucking fearmonger. Don't mean to scare anyone. Don't mean to give you any fucking shit about anything. For the fucking love of God, man. Why does everyone have to be so self-fucking righteous? You know, you could sit there and be like... women eat babies. Okay, you can make that assessment. You could say, women eat babies. Now, does that mean I want to be right and I want women to go out there and eat babies just so I can feel vindicated? No, it doesn't. It means that I said it simply because I'm making this really stupid analogy here. I'm trying to draw some sense to people, but they're gonna have a really hard time understanding it because there's only one dimension right now, and that dimension is I am always right. I am always right. I am always right. Everything I say, it's right. It's right. It's right. If it's proven wrong, fuck you. You're an idiot. Let's go to war. Let's fight. Let's do it. But I don't fucking like that. I don't like that. It's ugly. I look ugly saying it. It's fucking terrible. And here I am. Here I am just trying to exhaust it again. Trying to exhaust it with copious amounts of wine and drinking. And dude, man. Dude. Like, I'm sorry to say that there's a lot of illogical fallacies that people fall on. And man, they're fucking weird, dude. They're fucking weird. And it's only bound to get weirder. It's only bound to get weirder, folks. If you take a look around, if you take a good hard look around, it's bound to get weirder. Oh God. Oh God, I am dragging on. What's it going to take to just fucking be human again, is what I'm asking. What's it going to fucking take? Oh, probably a war. Probably a civil war. But that's just a projection for all I know. That could just be my overactive imagination. Is it possible of happening? Yes. Am I wrong? We don't know. Only time will tell. Do I want it? Absolutely not. Do I think it will happen? Well, at the rate we are currently declining in human relationships, it makes me sad. I wish things could be different. I wish things could be a whole lot better. But, there's so many other things I'd like to bring into discussion, but I won't talk about them because they're kind of personal, man. Kind of fucking personal. I get a little drunk, I get a little fruity, and I start talking. don't sit here and act like I am this horrible person. Well, the music stopped.